Hello, I hope you're having a great day. Today I am back in Washington Union Station in the amazingly great hall right in the front, and I'll be riding Amtrak's Acela first class service from here to New York. My train leaves at 5 o'clock. I have my ticket right here, and let's head to the lounge. They're actually going to be remodeling this lounge in just a few days, so it's going to be closed, and I'm very curious to see how the new lounge looks when it's done. So this is still the old lounge before it's remodeled. And the line at the check-in, like ticket pickup area, you could call it, was very short. Just one person in front of me. Probably took 45 seconds for me to pick up my ticket. I just always like having the traditional looking paper copy. I always print it off from online just in case, but I save these, to collect and have a little collection at home, all my train tickets. So let's go check out the lounge. I've been here several times before, so I don't think much has changed. The lounge is relatively easy to find. You just follow the signs for Metropolitan Lounge, and then it's behind these wooden doors over here. You have to push a button, and then they unlock it. So let's go ahead and do that. So I picked up a few snacks from the lounge, and overall, it's a nice quiet space. They're remodeling it right now. So it is, at this time of editing, it's currently closed, but at the time you could pick up some snacks, have a little seating area. It wasn't ever really that busy except for, the holiday season, but I got this whole area, this little space on the side to myself, so that was nice. Well, guess what? They forgot to board us from the lounge, so we're getting on after a lot of the business class passengers, it seems. And they're in a little bit of a rush now because the lounge person kind of forgot about us, it seems. So all of us are coming from the lounge. I'm at the start of the lounge line, so there's a lot of people behind me. We're all going in the first class car, which is luckily the closest one. Car number 1 for first class on Acela 2122. So here is the seating arrangement on Acela first class. It's in a 2-1 configuration. I reserved a group of 4 seats because I had some family members join me later down the line, and there is plenty of legroom. You have a table that folds out, you have those overhead bins, you have large window, and it's overall a great seat. Here are some of the other features of the large seats. You have a recline button, which you can push in and recline the seat a decent amount. You have a nice armrest of decent width, and this is the table that folds out for when you're eating. It closes up so you have some more space, and you can really stretch out, especially when no one's across from you. So the train goes pretty fast. At this point, we were just coming out of New Carrollton area, so we're picking up speed. The attendants came around with some drinks, so Fiji water, and I got a cranberry juice in addition to the dinner menu. And here is the menu on Acela, and I ended up going for the cheese and fruit plate, which is my typical choice. So here is the first class bathroom on the Acela, and I will have to say it's very spacious, and it was kept clean on the entire trip. It's pretty much the same as the Acela business class bathrooms. So my food just arrived, and I'm actually sitting with my grandparents. My grandmother doesn't like to be filmed so much, so I'm not going to show her, but or my grandfather either. But this is the cheese and fruit plate, and I order it without the crackers. This is a dessert that comes with it. I'm going to give it to my grandfather. And lots of different types of cheeses and some fruit. It is a smaller meal, and I'll also show you what their meals look like as well. You do get metal silverware, and it's been great service so far on the Acela. So this is the beef short ribs, which my grandfather got, which comes with a bread roll and a little dessert. And this is my grandmother's Greek meze plate. They do serve the pita bread separately, so I would be curious about that. But anyway, this is the plate right here with a little dessert also. It's a very nice little plate. Doesn't it look cute?
You want to try it?
So we just got hot towel service on Amtrak. I just put it down. It's pretty hot, but yeah, that's very, very nice service. My grandmother likes it. While I walk on. So we arrived in New York just a few minutes behind schedule, and it was a great experience, very good service, the best I've had so much. Far.
All right,
Times
you got an
I've
elevator
ridden
here?
Amtrak
That's great.
Acela first class. Coming up from the platform, I would highly suggest taking the escalator if you can, and it takes you up into the beautiful station hall, and it's just like so nice when you're just coming up from the platforms up to this beautiful art space. Here we are in New York Moynihan Train Hall of the Penn Station. So we're going to go first to the lounge, which is actually upstairs. The Metropolitan Lounge is this way, so we're going to walk this way towards the Metropolitan Lounge. And look at the beautiful signage. Wow. So it's a beautiful station. We're actually going to do one thing with tickets before we go to the lounge, so I'll film the lounge in a minute. Here's the entrance to the lounge. No, it's upstairs. Yeah. Tells you right here. This is very nice. Already. Go up an escalator. There's probably an elevator somewhere. So here's a little tour of the lounge. You have a lot of types of seating areas that you can have a varied experience, and overall very nice space. The lounge attendant claimed that it could get very crowded, especially in the middle of the day, but considering it was pretty late at night at that point, it was very empty. They also have an area where you can get food, and obviously it's all complimentary coffees and snacks and some fruit. So I thought that was very well laid out, and definitely an improvement compared to the lounge in Washington. So I am back from New York after traveling up on Amtrak's first class Acela service, and generally I would say that it was a great experience. There were very few minor things that I would say Amtrak could adjust. Obviously they are getting new train sets, which will definitely improve the experience in terms of the seats. The seats are very comfortable. The range of recline I think is great. I also like how they start straight up. Some people might not like that. I personally like very straight up seats. I mean, in the car, my family members say, how could you sit with a seat like not reclined at all? Well, I personally like how the seats start pretty straight up, and and I think that's great. But you know, the little they have a little like radio thing on the side of the seats, or like a channel selector. I don't think that works, and that's kind of an old remnant of the past. You know, and there's a few little things like that, but they are getting the train sets replaced in the near future. But the service is definitely the differentiator between business and first class on the Acela in my experience. The first class service, I thought our train attendants were absolutely excellent. They did a very good job of providing an effective, fast service. I should rather say efficient rather than fast. They weren't like rushing through anything like that, but getting, you know, to serve all the passengers in the car. And there were 2 attendants, and they did a great job. In addition, I wanted to point out that during the boarding process, it was definitely chaotic because the lounge manager kind of forgot about the first class passengers a little bit. But I wanted to say that the train attendants, the first class attendants, did do a good job with making sure that business class passengers don't walk through the car. In fact, they were very strict about that business class passengers do not walk through the first class car, since the first class car is the closest to the station. So some people might want to just get on there and walk through, but they actually stop people from doing that. And I thought that, you know, that's important that they do that to make sure there's a differentiation between first and business class, and you can't just walk straight through the first class, because, you know, they try to make it, you know, comfortable, calm, and less chaotic for the first class passengers in there. And in general, I thought that they performed their duties very well. And also the lounges, the DC lounge is fine. They are making some improvements, some small improvements, so we'll see that in a future video that I am going to be making about Amtrak Acela First Class on a shorter trip from Washington to Baltimore, which will show the new sort of renovated lounge. It's not going to be that much renovation, but you'll see in a future video. And also the lounge in New York was very impressive, way higher than my expectations. In fact, I purposely didn't research that lounge before going there because I was just mind blown how large it was and how spacious it was. And also the service attendants at that lounge were very professional, even considering it was late at night and we were some of the only people in the lounge. You know, sometimes you might think, well, the employees might want to relax a little bit or whatever, but they stayed to their, you know, quality of service, very professional job. I just wanted to say those for those lounge attendants for the Metropolitan Lounge. And anyhow, that was the experience on Amtrak Acela First Class. Now, I did want to point out the fares on our specific trip. That way you can just have it in your mind. The business class fare on Acela, which is what we paid for it, was about $150 something. We did use some one class upgrade coupons that got us into the first class. And that's how we did it. The first class fare was $474, I believe, off the top of my head, for the first class per person fare. So about close to basically three times the price of the business class fare on our specific trip. However, if you book far in advance, then you can see some savings on Amtrak. Amtrak did not sponsor this video and has no part in the production of this video. I just wanted to say that as well. And the tickets were paid for by my family. So anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. As always, have a fabulous rest of your day, and you can always subscribe below, and I hope to make some more videos soon.